that is me last night hitting a 96 and being some way back in our first leg of our first match in the ADC last night. When we first started vlogging, we were shaking like a leaf. Do you remember we took out our first leg with double one? We were averaging 45, sometimes a lot lower, and it just wasn't fun, and I thought I can't keep vlogging this rubbish. I've got to start to get better. At times we still lapse back into old darts map, but we've been playing some pretty good stuff, getting the averages up there above 60 quite often, sometimes above 65, sneaking towards 70 in some matches. We still, as I say, still fall back, but we've been playing some pretty good stuff relatively for us. Top two from each group of 6 qualified to the knockouts. Do we make it through? We're about to go 1-0 down here. Let's pick up on these highlights. Hope you enjoy them. Talk through a really fun night at Windmill Hill in the ADC vaults. So I'm just watching back the footage here, and as you can see, we've hit 96. That leaves us on 146. But Terry steps up, pins double 17. I wasn't sure if he was going to split it or not, being with me so far back, but maybe he's shown me respect. I'm not so sure. That was the case. He's just happy with that, and he goes 1-0 up. It's a real sprint these games because it is really first to 2. Play well, you can grab a win. If you sit back for a second, your game can be over in a few minutes and you've lost 2-0. In this leg, a bit of a theme for the match. So Terry is a really good player. The good thing about the ADC, the good thing about these type of tournaments is when you're not playing or chalking, you can walk around and watch other players, and he is one of the top players that turn up every week. But we plug away. I mean, you can see from his darts here, they're surrounding the treble 20 bed but not falling in, and we're plugging away with our 60s, our 81s. So we started that leg with 100 if you didn't notice. So while we trickle down into the scoring phase of this leg, because we don't score all that well, let me tell you how some of the other fixtures went. So we played 5 matches. 2 of my opponents were happy to film, so I'm going to share you 2 highlights of 2 games. Game number 2, I really struggled and I didn't even get a shot at the double. I lost 2-0 to a really nice bloke called Clive, who went pretty far in the tournament in the end. I didn't even give myself a chance really. I was really struggling in the scoring zone, really struggled to get going. And Clive won 2-0 without even getting out of second gear. Averaging 71 though, first 973 is pretty darn good. Same theme happened in match 3. We played against Stephen. Stephen, a bit like me, kind of like trying to raise his game and go up a level. Sort of with me, we were quite similar to some extent, but he beat me 2-1. I took out double 8 to go 1-0 up. And I thought, to be honest, I got a bit too comfortable, and before we knew it, Stephen's hit quite a few 100s in the game. And it's 1-1, and then the same thing continued in the last leg. I left loads on the wire on double 8 and double 4, and we lost 2-1. So we lost our second and third game, and we hadn't really played that good stuff. However, in our opening game, we're up against Terry. We're down to 64. We missed the treble 16, so we leave 48. We float one down there, and it just goes into 8, which leaves tops, and we take that out first start, and this game is off to a decider. We bump fists, best of luck to Terry in the final leg, wish him luck, and yeah, that's the thing with this format. It can be over so quick, things can change so fast, and we're on to a deciding leg. And the same pattern emerges. We're not scoring all that well, it's a little bit better, until Terry does this. That's a 180, puts him into a bit of control. Now I was quite happy. My next dart, I follow up with a treble 20 myself. I obviously told him great darts, but we didn't quite follow it up, and we ended up with a 66. We are still just about ahead in the leg because we've scored okay with an 81 and 100 to begin with. Terry, as I say, this isn't his best performance, and he is a much better player than me, much better player than what we see here. But we go about our business quite well, and we get a chance. We hit that 100, which takes us down to 40 to go. Terry's trying to apply a bit of pressure, but again, the darts are just everywhere but in. I mean, they're not bad darts, they're just not adding up to the numbers that he's probably used to. Another day they'll drop, and I won't even get a shot at the double, and we'll lose 2-0. We leave it just below the wire on the 20s, absolutely flat one. And then we leave it on the wire again on double 10, and I'm just thinking, well, it's over now. I think Terry is going to close this one out. He leaves everything but in that treble 20 bed, so gives me a little bit of luck. I leave on double 10 and I can't find it, and I joke. I go back to Matt, who's watching me, one good lad that I warmed up with, and I was joking because my hand was actually shaking. I was actually shaking because obviously I know Terry. I know he's a really good player. Here we are again. We put it on top of the double 5, and then we clatter one into it, drops down and in, We win 2-1 and we win our first game of the evening. As I say, we lost our next 2, but we did win 1 game. So the way the group went, going into the last set of fixtures, everyone, apart from Clive, who's already through, has a chance to go up into the knockout stage, including us. So the lighting's a little dark, but let me just now jump into the game against Ollie, which is far better performances. So jumping straight into this game, we have our best ever leg to start with in the ADC since we've been playing, probably the best leg outside of our bedroom. We open up with a 100, Ollie fires up with an 81, and then we step back up again. We find the treble 20, and this, ladies and gents, is our first 180 in the ADC. Again, Ollie keeps it going, another 85, and we look to continue on this great start to the leg, and we follow up with an 81. And at this phase, this is that kind of zone that you want to find, and I don't find it all that often, where I can just stand and throw. I've got my rhythm, I've got my tempo, and I'm not really thinking about anything else. I'm not thinking about technique, I'm not thinking about the score, I'm not thinking about the fact that I've got a chance to go through at this stage. I'm just playing. So we're down to 69. I like double 6, so I went for treble 19, hit the single, float it up to 18, no problem, and then first start in for an 18 dart leg on double 16. Probably, yeah, definitely our best leg, I think, in the ADC. Could have been a bit better as well. Now into the second leg. We are not scoring the same. We're not throwing bad darts, you can see there. They're everywhere, but Ollie hits this lovely treble 10 to score 105 and leave 40. I'm not really putting him in under any pressure at all. Again, here I'm trying to find the treble 20 bed to put a little pressure on, but we don't. That's 60, which puts us back on 180. Ollie's got time. He doesn't even need it though. Pops it in. Tops 1 for 1. How's our doubling in this game? And it's 1-1, and we go to a deciding leg. So we're into the final leg, and here we are putting Ollie under amazing pressure here with a big fat 3. Oh dear, I think we're in a bit of trouble here. Both of us actually didn't score too well, so just while we are getting through this leg here, let me talk you through my final game. Now, in the final game, we actually still had a chance to go through. We were up against Bailey. Bailey, again, another chap that I've played quite a few times. He, again, I think we're quite similar. He's probably slightly better than me, but I can beat him if I play well. Unfortunately, I'll put the score up now. We do not beat Bailey. Bailey beats me 2-1. We went 1-0 up in this one, as you can see. But Bailey, who I didn't film in this game because he wasn't playing as well as he can. I didn't want to, just compound that frustration because we've all been there, right, and just whack the camera out. So we didn't film that one. But Bailey rightfully deserved it and beat me and played some really nice darts in the third leg, particularly 115, 96, hit a 50 to leave 4 and did it. So we lost, we didn't go through, but let's just go back to this game here against Ollie, where after our big fat 3, we are trying our hardest now to get a little bit of control on this leg until it puts a bit of pressure on, hits big 19, goes up, pops 2 in the treble 20 bed, 139, that leaves 28, and we're now on 75, throwing for the match. 75 for me, I'm always starting on treble 17 to try and leave double 12. We hit the big 17, 58, so we're going 18 for tops, but we get a bit heavy-handed. We go a bit hard, so we've hit double 18. I just double-check with Clive. Clive looks at me, 22, which I was obviously pretty comfortable on maths-wise, and we hit it. We hit double 11, so we're very unconventional, and Clive actually said to me after the game, well, that's a different way to do it. I was like, thanks, Clive. It was. Look at him there, yeah, telling me now how different that was. Well, we got the win. Clive beat everyone. We got the win in this game against a player that we know is always going to be giving us a really tough game, and we have to do things like that to win. So yeah, really delighted with that. A real mixed night. We had 2 really good performances and then 3 where we just went missing, and that's the consistency we're looking to build into our game. But as I said at the top of this video, if you look at the improvement from February through to today, I'm really pleased. I'd love to be a lot better player than I am, but I think it goes to show a bit of compound interest of effort. We've been putting in the weeks now, and we're starting to produce legs and finishes a little bit more often, like you just saw just then against Ollie. So all that leaves me to say is, yeah, if you are somebody like me, kind of floating in between 50, 60 average and wants to push that on, I think the ADC is a really good place to get out there and try and improve at least. That's what we're going to keep doing here. We won't be vlogging every week at all, but little clips like that I think you'll hopefully find quite interesting, and we can see and track as our development goes. And thank you of course to Ollie and Terry for letting me fill the games. Great lads. Terry's going to win one of these again very soon, I'm sure. Myself, Ollie, Bailey, we're going to keep plugging away here, and Steve of course, and see if we can take our game up to another level next year. That's the goal, right? Cracking job by Matt the organiser as well. Really like the ADC down on Wednesday at Windmill Hill. Let's keep trying to improve. Good luck with your games, and I'll see you in the next one.